everybody, welcome back to the Light Side Reaction and Reviews. Today we are checking out the official trailer for Andor Season 2. This is the Star Wars series. The Season 1 came out a few years ago. It's a prequel series to the Star Wars movie Rogue One, where we see some of the characters from Rogue One before the events of Rogue One, and of course we knew that anything that came out after that had to be a prequel because of the way that Rogue One ended. And so we have the story of Cassian Andor, how he meets his robotic companion, and actually the story of how they met was actually in the comics, so we weren't going to see that on the screen. But you see the origins of how in Season 1 we got to see how the Death Star began, and how that tied into was amazing. My quick review of Season 1, I really liked it. The first 2 or 3 episodes was good. I enjoyed them. I'd give them a 4 or 5 stars, possibly a 6 star out of 10, because it really set up the characters really well. It was engaging. It was the sort of stuff that you'd expect from Favreau and Filoni. Some of the better stuff that Disney has put out from Star Wars. Of course, some of the Star Wars content they put out since Disney took over has been abysmal. It's been horrible. But Andor, for the most part, was a good Season 1 with some good series. So I enjoyed that quite a bit. Now they're coming out with Season 2. It's coming out on April 22nd on Disney Plus, and they released the trailer for that. So that's what I'm going to react to today. It streams on April 22nd on Disney Plus. So, as I said, I enjoyed the first couple episodes. I'd give them, around 5 or 6 stars. And then as it progressed, it started to focus more on some of the Imperial characters, like Carol Sarn, great character. And then we met Dedra Meero, and she is, I think, my favorite character so far of the Andor series. And that's the female Imperial officer that ended up taking over the case when the Empire basically fired Carol Sarn, or gave him this huge demotion because of the way that they handled the case where they were chased after Andor. And so I love her as a character, and I see that she is going to be coming back for this season, and so I'm excited for that. I really want to see more about her character. Her as a character, her facial characteristics as an actress was perfect for an Imperial officer. She had those type of classic Imperial type features, the slim face with the prominent jawline. Just looked like something that you would expect from an Imperial officer. Reminds me of the classic actor that played Grand Moff Tarkin. But she had that same type of facial characteristic that really made her stereotypically fit that character that she is portraying. And the way she acted out the part was amazing. And the actor that played Carol Sarn, he did a great job, made him a sympathetic character as somebody who was trying to do the right thing by the Empire, and he saw that they were, mishandling this, and he just went over the heads of his superiors in order to track down who he believed to be a sincere threat to the Empire. And of course, the way we know things turn out, this is a prequel, he ends up becoming a huge threat. And so he would have been a great hero of the Empire, but he went over their heads and basically stepped on the wrong toes and got his demotion. He is back for Season 2. I know the actor is going to be in this, so I expect we're going to find out more from these characters, and I really enjoyed that. Then you got to the part of the around episodes 5, 6, and 7, I think it was, around that area, where you had the part in the prison. Excellent storyline, extremely well written, great acting. You had the actor that did Gollum, phenomenal actor, did a great job portraying the character that he played. Of course, Stellan Skarsgård playing, trying to think of his name too. It's been so long since I saw Season 1. So yes, it's a problem where they went so long between seasons. I'm starting to forget character names. But He was phenomenal, and I'm hoping that he comes back. Mon Mothma, it was great to see her and the story arc that she's getting. Of course, a lot of these characters, it left it open at the end of the season for these characters to come back and to see their story arc continue. And so I'm looking forward to see where it goes. The way it ended, if you did watch it and you missed the post-credit scene on the final episode, you need to go back and watch that. The final episode of season 1, watch for the post-credit scene, because it's just so shocking to realize that those 3 or 4 episodes toward the middle of the second half of the season, how it tied in. And we didn't realize until that scene exactly what it was they were working on that the Empire had them doing in the prison. And so just amazing. And I'm just so looking forward to see season 2 pick up where it left off. So let's go ahead and check out the trailer now and see if it gives us some hints as to what season 2 is going to be about. And here we go.
I came with you to be part of something.
Okay, there's Cassian's back. Nice scenery.
The Empire cannot win.
Saul Guerrero.
Different kind of mission.
I love his cameos. There's Mon Mothma. Good to see her back.
If it goes up in flames, it will burn.
There he is. Stellan Skarsgård character.
If I'm giving up everything, I want to win.
Okay, and his allies.
We have to.
I'm glad they're back.
Stand together. We will be crushed.
Resistance is absurd.
Oh, that was cool.
They're building a weapon. The monster will come for us all.
Revolution is not for the saying.
Oh, is that Dead Ramiro there?
And you're ready to fight. There's a future here for those who dare.
There's Cyril Karn.
Welcome to the rebellion.
Okay, so he's officially part of the rebellion now. And that was how it ended, streaming April 22nd. That was how they ended it. This is going to be cool. I'm excited. The trailer itself...
With you to be part of
Let's go ahead.
something.
The trailer itself doesn't look that great. I mean, it's just kind of mediocre. If you hadn't seen season 1 and gotten to know the characters, this would be kind of a blah trailer. As far as trailers go, it's not that amazing. But having seen part 1, or season 1, and have got to recognize these characters, now that you see their faces coming up, and you can see how it's moving forward. So story-wise, it shows that, of course, they're talking about the Death Star now, and that's what we found out at the end of season 1, that this is leading up to, obviously, which is the main focus of Rogue One, where this ends up ending. And so you've got Cassian Andor is back. I'm going to go ahead and look up the cast here. So we got Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna. Okay, obviously he's going to be back. He's the title character. You got Adria Arjona, which is the female. She's not really his girlfriend. She was like an ex-girlfriend in season 1. And obviously she survived season 1. She was kind of a... They set her up like in the first couple episodes. It was like she was going to be a major character, but then she kind of fell along the way lines as they focused on building the backgrounds of some of the other characters. And then on the final episode, of course, she became more prominent, and they're setting her up, I think, to be a more prominent character in season 2. You got Kyle Soller, who plays Cyril Karn. Love his character. Very unique the way they're setting him up as an Imperial officer who is sympathetic, because he's basically a patriot. He believes in his job. He's trying to do the right thing because he believes in the Empire, and he sees the corruption from the higher ups, and he's challenging it. And of course, that gets him into a lot of trouble. And that is really sympathetic type character for them to introduce as a villain in here. He's a villain because he's on the wrong side of history. But at the same time, he's sympathetic because he's, how you've got your anti-heroes. He's almost an anti-villain. Kind of like, you go back to the prequels, the way I view the Sith Lord that end up leading the Separatists. He was real sympathetic, and I really identified with him a lot because he was right all along about the Empire, or not the Empire, but about the Jedi, that they were being misled by the Sith, and nobody believed him. And of course, he ended up going off the deep end and becoming a Sith Lord himself. He was led astray, just like Vader was, and so. I really enjoyed him as a character, and I see Kyle Soller as a sympathetic character in the same vein as he was. And what was his name? Count Dooku. Count Dooku. I loved him as a character because he was so well-rounded, and I get the same impression from Cyril Karn. He's a well-rounded character because he's not your typical villain. And so then you get Denise Gao. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but plays Dedra Meero. Fantastic. Absolutely love her character. Love the actress. And I'm hoping that she becomes the main villain in this series. At the end of season 1, she and Cyril Karn ended up teaming up together right at the very end. And so I think the two of them are going to end up working together to become the main antagonists in this series, to where they go out looking for Andor and his band of rebels as they escape from what's the name of the planet now? I can't remember. And go out and actually join the rebellion itself, led by Luthen Rael, the character played by Stellan Skarsgård, and also Mon Mothma. So you got Luthen Rael and Mon Mothma, who are the representatives that really are the higher-ups, so to speak, the generals and the admirals, that sort of thing, that end up forming the rebellion. And you've got these lower generals like Luke and Leia and Han would eventually become in the original trilogy. That's what Cassian and these other main characters that escaped at the end of season 1 are going to be in this series. And so I'm glad to see these characters coming back as well. They escaped at the end, the ones that survived, and we're going to see their story continue. Of course, Alan Tudyk playing the robot, and let's see, what's his K2SO. Absolutely love him. Great character. One of my favorite droid characters in the Star Wars universe. And so that scene it showed of him walking along and then just throwing the guy off to the side reminded me of some of the scenes from Rogue One, where he just walked through the crowd and just threw people off to the side, that sort of stuff. Shows his towering strength that he has as a type of character. And so I just absolutely love him in this. I'm glad to see he's back, of course. Knew he would be because he had such a prominent role being Cassian's companion in the end days of Rogue One. Faye Marsay is back as what was her name? Vera Velsartha. So she's back, and she was good actress. Kind of a mediocre type character wise, but good actress. Did a good job in season 1. I'm not really thrilled about her character. I'm more invested in some of these others, especially the villains. But she's back. Let's see, Genevieve O'Reilly, of course, as Mon Mothma. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her character arc as they left her being this kind of double agent sort of thing. You know, she's a senator, so she has to work for the rebellion under the cover of darkness without anybody realizing what she's doing. And then her having these financial difficulties because of the money that she's been funneling into the rebellion and trying to find a way to cover that up. I want to see how they progress and have her deal with that as she is ended up having to sell her soul to the devil in certain situations, as we saw with the situation with her husband and her daughter, and happened to resort to this arranged marriage sort of situation. And so we're going to see, I think in season 2, her daughter become more prominent character possibly, as she's forced into this situation. The character herself, the daughter character, didn't seem like she felt so forced into it. If you remember, when it showed her in season 1, she was all gangbusters. She was gung-ho about some of these traditions in her society, to where the more progressive members of the society, like Mon Mothma, had kind of turned their backs, and also her sister, that Faye Marcy played, Velsartha. So Velsartha and Mon Mothma both, they've kind of turned their backs on some of these traditions, like the arranged marriage and sort of stuff. But the daughter seems to be all excited about the traditions of her culture. And so she may be excited about this arrangement. You think of Game of Thrones, for example, when the daughter, the redheaded daughter, what was her name? The princess. She was all excited about the opportunity to marry the Prince Joffrey. And, she was just all excited about it until she found out what kind of a cruel dictator he was, and a horrible person. And then she realized what kind of a mess she'd gotten herself into, happened to be his queen. And so I don't know if we're going to have that similar situation as a character growth arc for Mon Mothma's daughter, and how that will impact Mon Mothma as she ends up becoming the pivotal character that she is in the original trilogy, that got her start back here in the early days of the rebellion. And then Dave Chapman, of course, the voice of K2SO. Anton Lesser is back as the main Imperial, the supervisor. I really enjoyed him as a character. He seems like a very good leader. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He is willing to listen to all sides and then make his decision based on that. But once he made his decision, everybody respected him. To they had some bickering and quarreling among themselves, but when he spoke, when he put his foot down and said this is the way it was, they listened to him. And so I like him as a character. I like the actor, and I'm glad to see him back. Saul Guerrera is coming back, and so he was a major character, of course, in the Clone Wars, and it carried over into Rogue One. And so as a pivotal character in the franchise, I'm glad to see him coming back, played, of course, by Forrest Whitaker. Great actor. I'm anxious to see how they use him in season 2 here. There's more, of course. Fiona Shaw, it's got her listed here as in season 2. So, in case you haven't seen season 1, I'm not going to give you any spoilers for that. But if she does appear in season 2, it's going to be in flashbacks, of course, because of what happened with her character. But that's not out of the question. We will have flashbacks occasionally. In fact, in season 1, we had flashbacks to Andor when he was a child. And so you may have some jumping around, so the actress may be back, even though the character, I'll just go ahead and say it, was written out, basically. So anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. The trailer itself didn't make me excited for it, but I'm excited for it because I really enjoyed season 1. As I said, it started off okay and then got better and better. The prison sequence, the storyline in the prison was my favorite, I think, especially once we got that end credit scene and you finally, the pieces of the puzzle come together and you realize how the prison ties into, what's going to happen in the future. And then it kind of went back again to, just a good series, but not excellent, for the final couple episodes until the very end. And then you had that final episode where they had the confrontation on Rick's Road and the final escape of the survivors. And so that leads us into season 2, which is coming to Disney Plus. I am definitely going to be checking it out. How about you guys? Are you excited about this? Are you going to be watching it? What are your thoughts about it? Are you looking forward to certain characters coming back, as I am? And what are your thoughts on some of the other Disney properties, specifically Star Wars, or even if you want to get into some of the others, into the Marvel cinematic universe? You've got, I'll give you, in one of my upcoming videos, I'll give you my thoughts on Captain America Brave New World, I did get to see that, and so I'll give you my thoughts on that. Another thing from Disney, the new Snow White movie, I saw that, so I'll give you my thoughts on that. But go ahead and comment down below. What are your thoughts on the Star Wars specifically series? And I know they're coming up with, of course, Andor Season 2. And also there's another one they're coming up with Season 2 on it. What was that? It wasn't Ahsoka. Was it Ahsoka? Are they coming out with Ahsoka Season 2? If so, I'm interested to see that as well. Not as excited as I am Andor, because I'm really invested in these characters. Ahsoka, I like the way they ended that. I like the way they took it into the different galaxy sort of thing, like on the edge of the galaxy, or however they did that. In fact, I think it was even out of the galaxy. It was into another galaxy that they ended up going to or something, and then ended up coming back. And so I'm interested to see how that leads into what happened to our heroes from the Rebels series that we see coming back in that. And those of you fans of Rebels, are you excited to see the continuation of that story and what happens to Ezra and the others? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you know when we add new content. At the beginning of May, we're going to be starting back up with the Light Side Music Reactions episodes, and so be watching for those. We have already started to resume our Muck Club series, which is our weekend live stream, which is on Sunday afternoons at 2 p.m., where we review and talk about fast food and other quick edible items. And so be watching for those. And again, if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get notifications whenever these videos are added or whenever we go live. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Give me your recommendations down below, specifically of songs that you want me to react to for the Light Side Music Reactions, and I will try to get to all of them. And it doesn't matter what genre it is, if it's country, rock, gospel, bluegrass, jazz, opera, whatever it is, whatever you want to see me react to, go ahead and give me your suggestions. Name the artist and the song title, and I'll get to as many of them as I can. Looking forward to seeing you all throughout 2025 and for years to come. Thank you guys for watching once again, and we'll see you next time on the Light Side Reaction Reviews, the Light Side Music Reactions, or Muck Club. See you guys. Bye.